Ning Tsai-Shen, a timid tax collector, goes to a rural town to collect taxes but fails and runs out of money. He has no choice but to take shelter in a deserted temple in the forest on the outskirts of the town. That night, he meets a beautiful and alluring young maiden, Shu-Sin, and falls in love with her. In the morning, however, after he recalls that night's events, he becomes increasingly fearful and superstitious because Yin Chik-ha, a Taoist priest, told him that the people he saw in the temple are ghosts. That night, he returns to the temple and confirms his theory that Nip is actually a ghost. Nip tells Ning her story of how she became eternally bound to the servitude of a sinister tree demoness. She explains that as long as her remains are buried at the foot of the tree, her spirit will be forever enslaved by the tree demoness. Ning attempts to free her from her suffering, so he seeks help from Yin Chik-ha. Yin fights with the tree demoness and attempts to free Nip's soul but fails. As punishment for betraying her master, Nip's soul is banished to the underworld. Ning is unwilling to give up on Nip and he insists that Yin help him. Yin reluctantly opens a temporary portal into the underworld and brings Ning along to search for Nip. As the underworld is full of spirits, they have a hard time finding her. Ning and Nip are eventually able to see each other briefly near dawn when they manage to leave the underworld. When sunlight shines on the urn containing Nip's cremated remains, Ning uses a curtain to shield the urn to prevent Nip's soul from being destroyed by exposure to sunlight. Before leaving for good, she tells him that the only way to save her soul is to rebury her remains at a more auspicious burial site. Ning follows her instructions and, acting on Yin's advice, he buries her remains near the crest of a hill. He burns a joss stick for her and prays for her soul while Yin watches solemnly behind him. Ning and Yin are then seen riding off seeking a new adventure, with rainbow visible in the sky above them.